Welcome back to video number 2. Yeah, look at that face. My God. All right. Royal family has been very busy. Let's jump in and cover it, shall we? Let's go. To start with, I told you guys that I was shocked at the amount of money the Queen Mother had left the great-grandchildren, all of them, because word out is she liked to spend money. And you guys corrected me and told me word out, she actually liked to gamble. I had no idea. Okay, moving on. Now, this came out and I was absolutely shocked because it's true. Hardly anybody is covering Sophie's tour, which is why I'm covering it. So her tour continues and Sophie met with Dr. Himwe in Zanzibar, and they were talking about the UK-Tanzania partnership that, I've talked to you guys about already in health. She went and visited an anti-human trafficking and child protection task force, and this is UK-supported multi-agency task force. This is to help combat human trafficking, which we all know how important that is, and we all know that this is one of Sophie's big passions. On September 18th, Sophie actually watched a trachoma surgery in Tanzania. We know that this is her big work to eradicate trachoma from the Commonwealth by 2030. And later on, while talking with Princess Sophie in Tanzania, Dr. Mingwi highlighted Zanzibar's achievements in tackling non-communicable diseases and in, trying to eradicate trachoma, the infectious eye disease trachoma. Sophie apparently, praised them for all of their advancements, and she expects optimism that they're going to meet the 2030 goal for the elimination of this disease. So she's doing really well. I love it. A big thank you to Remoulade Sauce for showing us everything Sophie was wearing today. And I couldn't remember if I showed you this outfit, so I'm putting that up as well. And also, really quickly, I forgot, I told you the other day that Sophie went to a reception held by the British High Commissioner to Tanzania, but more pictures came out. You guys know how I am about that. I had to show them to you. This took place on the 17th, and it was celebrating the UK and Tanzania partnership. Next up, Sophie's fabulous husband, Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, who is president of the Royal Theatrical Support Trust, went to Northern Stage in Newcastle to watch a performance of Abigail's Party. Next up, on the 19th of September, Edward went to a place called the Learning Curve Group. He went to their headquarters in Durham to mark their 20th anniversary and officially open up their headquarters in Durham Gate. So while he was there, Edward learned how this group can support people and help them with learning and training opportunities, and how they help support employers by helping new and existing staff to upskill so they can fill vacancies and bridge, gaps that might be there. Edward watched a physical training demonstration for people from military preparation and engaged with a lot of the learners. And of course, what royal visit would it be if he didn't unveil a fabulous plaque for everybody? You guys already know how much I really like Edward. All right, let's keep going. Let's turn our attention now to King Charles. He met with serving submariners and their families at the part of the HM Naval Base Clyde, and he was welcomed on board by First Sea Lord Admiral Sir Ben Key. He got the royal salute. He was greeted by senior members of the Royal Navy. He had to be saluted on board, if that makes sense. And then after he was on board, then they raised the flag. And this was his first time there as Commodore-in-Chief of the British Armed Forces. While he was there, King Charles met a group of people who have gold deterrent pin holders. Now, these are pins awarded to people on the submarines for their contributions to continuous at-sea deterrent. There's 3 levels of achievement. There's pewter, silver, and gold. So gold is awarded to those people who have spent the greatest amount of time at sea. Just as an FYI, they put in the article that the Royal Navy has an unbroken 55-year record of continuous at-sea deterrence. That's pretty cool. People work in 6-hour increments, 6 hours on, 6 hours off. So as a result, it's being said that these people only sleep 4 hours at a time. I can't imagine how they function like that. Anyway, people, after he met all of them, then he got to meet a lot of the families and their children and thank them for their service during this visit. The king got to see where people sleep, where they eat. It's called the bunk space and the galley, the control room. And then, of course, before he left, he went to the senior mess area and, where the captain and them eat. And he signed the ship's visitor book. And apparently there was a new picture of him on the wall that somebody snapped a photo of. I think it looks fabulous. Good for him. Great visit. Let's move on. Next up, Princess Katherine, the Princess of Wales. We know she returned to work already. She had a meeting at Windsor Castle. They're saying now that her next big business appearance or public appearance will be at Remembrance Sunday at the Cenotaph on November 10th. Good for her. I'll be looking forward to seeing her. Let's move on. Prince William showed up in Scotland because remember, he's promoting his mission to end homelessness. So on September 19th, he was in Aberdeen to meet people that are working towards his mission to help end homelessness in the area. There were representatives there from the Homewards Aberdeen Coalition. Apparently, this area is only an hour away from Balmoral Castle, where, everybody's hanging out for the summer in Scotland. So the first stop William made was to visit a shelter. It was the Shelter Scotland's local office, and he heard about all the different services they offer and, what they can do to keep people that are on the brink of homelessness from being homeless. And they're trying to work for the right to a safe home and impact the housing emergency that's going on right now. It's being reported that Shelter Scotland is part of the Homewards Aberdeen Coalition. And so, they're going to do early intervention support for young people. Then there was an event afterwards that was hosted by the Homewards Aberdeen with Homeless Network Scotland. He met people that are working in the homeless sector and he gave a speech. And I think, just having him around sometimes I think is just enough. You guys know what I'm saying. Just looking at this man and knowing that he's really trying to make a change for a lot of people is enough. He talked about how when he was 11, he and Harry were taken to a homeless shelter by Diana. People are still talking about that beard. Oh my. Anyway, apparently as he was getting there, apparently a lot of people were stunned. They weren't expecting to see him there. Okay, so he shows up and then he went to the different engagements. Now, one of the people that he was talking to, her name is Gail Porter, and she is an advocate for Homewards after finding herself homeless 2 different times in her life. One of the things I liked about this visit from William was he gave credit where credit is due. He said, and I'm quoting, "You guys do all the hard work, but who's supporting you?" And that's what Homewards is going to be, to elevate your work and support you. So as usual, he's bringing attention to the charity, not to himself. And I think everybody knows deep down that that's the way it's supposed to be. Anyway, he waved goodbye as he left. It was a fabulous visit. Good on for you, William. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Go down into the description box where you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, which is currently paused, and my Amazon wish list. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.